I was expecting the lower cost of a lot of just your everyday living things and hoping that he would make things better for everybody in America, because that's what we need.
Please say it isn't so. The guy lied to you to get elected? He lied about everything. Going to stop the war in Ukraine on day one? How'd that turn out? He's going to fix egg prices. He's going to go to a grocery store and lower those prices. I haven't seen any bit of it. But you know who voted for him. Your dumbass neighbor or some other dumbass up the block. 70% of South Dakota voted for Trump, but 30% just kind of got caught up in the waves. You can't blame them for being upset. But even some of those that voted for the man aren't happy with the way things are going with tariffs.
Groceries are already outrageous, and then we put the tariffs on across the seas or whatever, like China, all that. It just makes everything more expensive for everybody.
I don't think you thought of that. These lame brains in South Dakota, they voted for him, and now they're having a little buyer's remorse.
Jamie Basinger is the only person we met in eastern South Dakota who openly questioned her own political views. Most people we talked to said it was risky to talk about politics here, even as the effects of Trump's tariffs loomed over the agricultural economy in an area that voted for him by about 70%. Generally, opinions were divided between trust Trump's plan and how can you still like this guy. Wait, so Becky, let me ask one thing. Are you in a politically mixed marriage?
Yeah. Did you see the Joe Biden sign? Would you like to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Becky Hofer was not afraid to talk. She's a Democrat, and her husband is a conservative.
Hey, I know a good divorce attorney. I even know a bad one.
Everybody's nervous. People are making different decisions for different reasons. Everybody just wants some stability right now. You know, it's the biggest thing that frustrates me is that I just feel like nobody cares right now until it affects them. And I don't understand how they don't see that. They're not dumb. These people aren't dumb. And they're not unkind people and selfish people.
I'm not dumb and I'm not selfish. That's what Trump ran on.
To let the president do what he's doing, and we need to just see what's going to happen here and give him a little latitude so that, if it doesn't work.
Now, I agree with this guy in theory. Give a president a chance to do something, at least enact what he'd been telling you for years. Trump is flip-flopping. There is nothing that he's stuck to. You can't tell me that this is a plan.
Then we're going to have to try something different.
Okay. So you're willing to let the president try some stuff to see?
Yes, to see if this works. Let's give the president a chance, and we'll just have to go from there.
That sounds pretty risky. When your business goes belly up, you might not be around to see how it turns out. Tommy seems to know what he's talking about.
Tommy Baruth thinks we already give it a chance. He's a retired soybean farmer who saw what happened in 2018 when Trump put tariffs on China.
The export market just went right down the tube because these countries could buy them from other places cheaper. Brazil and other countries were the ones that benefited from that.
I read that it stayed that way, that now China buys a lot more from Brazil.
Exactly. And a lot of times those markets don't come back.
Listen to Tommy. He gets it. You send business elsewhere, why should it come back to us?
Doug Bierke runs a lawn mowing business. He says Trump's plan will work out in the long term.
Doug, you know lawn mowing. Economists know the economy. Let's stick to what we know here.
Even if some crop prices fall.
Yeah, the price might come down, but when them people start starving, they're going to come back to the table.
You mean in the other countries?
Yeah, we're a gracious nation.
Hey, Clem, don't forget China, Brazil, and India. They're producing a hell of a lot of food. Rick didn't vote for Trump, and he's getting reamed.
Rick Ekman says in the 3 days after the tariffs, cattle futures dropped below the point of break even for his farm.
I've never had him do this before.
Yeah, he really likes you.
No.
Did you vote for Trump?
No. No, I did not.
Why not?
You want me to be truthful? I think to get to where he's at today, he's stepped on people, and he's got no morals, I don't think. I don't like the man.
Thanks, Rick. You just said what nobody in Washington has the balls to say.
Why do you think so many of your neighbors do support
I don't know. I guess I don't see anything good about him.
Does it affect the way you think about America?
It scares me.
Terry Nebelsick, a lifelong Republican, was very careful in how he talked about the political climate.
Well, of course he is. He needs his job. He's probably got a family to support. Doesn't want Trump to fire him for doing his job.
He's concerned that Trump's push to dissolve the Department of Education will cut public school funds for needy kids, potentially at a time of economic turmoil.
if poverty is happening to adults, children are hurting.
Holy cow, you weren't kidding. Terry's walking through this like it's a minefield.
And where adults sometimes just have to work through it and make sure there's food on the table. During that time, we have children and adolescents who are forming who they're going to be. And I do think that the public school is a collecting point for people to be able to reach those kids and make sure that they're fed and have medical attention.
What the hell are you talking about?
And have their basic needs met.
Wow, and I thought Trump was good at word salads. Notice he still is saying how people should be helped, but he's not holding anybody responsible, the ones that should be helping.
Again and again, our conversations in this Midwestern nice town came back to character and values.
Character and values. And they voted for Trump?
When Sheila and I raised our children, we taught them to be honest, not try to cheat anybody.
And our president was convicted how many times?
Trump doesn't do any of those things.
Do you find a lot of farmers around here agree with you, or are they fans of Trump?
This is a very Republican state. I think it's too soon for them to say they're wrong.
Holy cow, you got it going on. You just described the Republican Party.